It is December the 7th, and it's beautiful outside here in Western Canada. Very happy to be subbing in for Dr. Glidden. This is Mike Phillip, and I've been working with Dr. Glidden for approximately 5 years now. Myself and my family, we reached a point a few years back where several of us were suffering with really bad health problems. And if I had not found this show and I had not found Dr. Glidden, I shudder to think where I would be today. Call-in line is 844-374-5433. Once again, that's 844-374-5433. I got a number of things that I want to talk about today, but right now we're going to head straight over to the phone lines. Jacqueline in California, how are you this morning? Jacqueline has hung up. All right. We lost Jacqueline. Jacqueline, if you're still listening, give us a call. It said in the Comrex here that she was struggling with yeast infections, and you know what? She hung up or lost the call, dropped it, bad cell connection. I don't know. I'm going to talk about it anyways. If you have excessive sugar buildup in your body, you're going to have problems, okay? Now, if you have mineral deficiencies and a poor diet, bad digestion to begin with, all right, you're going to have problems. I said it before, I'll say it again. Everything starts with your digestive tract. Everything. Hippocrates said over 2,000 years ago that all healing begins in the gut. You need 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino and 2 fatty acids. And the reason that we know this is because largely of the work of Dr. Joel Wallach. And there is a grassroots coalition of people that have picked up the ball and started running with it because we've been failed time and time again by Western medicine. Now, am I against Western medicine 100%? No, I'm not. I'm not totally against drugs. I'm not against surgery. Okay? I'm against drugs and surgery, though, when it's unnecessary. When there's a health problem that you could change by changing your diet and your intake of nutrients, then drugs and surgery are unnecessary. All right? Now, there's a story out of the Globe and Mail online, the UK Daily Mail. Taking statins may prevent flu vaccine from working. Findings could have serious impact for public health campaigns because treatments are aimed at the same group of people. And this is interesting for a number of reasons, but let's get into it. Taking statins may put people at increased risk of falling ill with the flu, researchers have warned. The cholesterol-busting drugs taken by millions of Britons seem to stop flu vaccines from working properly. Now, if you've been listening to the show for a while, you know that we are not 100% for vaccines, and there's a number of reasons for that. They've been shown to be dangerous to a segment of the population, and it seems like there's a whole lot of money being dumped into convincing you that if you get a vaccine, all your problems will be solved. But year after year, I watch the flu season come and go, and I watched the articles coming out in the days prior and after, post and prior, and they're continually telling us that the vaccine is a necessity, and then when the flu season's over, they tell us that it didn't work. It's amazing. Cholesterol-busting drugs taken by millions of Britons seem to stop flu vaccines from working properly. According to 2 major studies published today, people who take statins have significantly reduced immune response to the vaccine. So they're pushing these statin drugs that absolutely beat the tar out of your liver. And then at the same time, you're taking vaccines. Well, there's a problem here. If this is true, this could have serious implications for public health campaigns in Britain, which have prioritized both flu vaccines and statin use in recent years. So they're worried about the fate of the campaign, not the patients. Crucially, both treatments are aimed at the same group of elderly people. Dr. Sayed Omer of Emory University in the U.S., who led one of the studies, said, "We found that the effectiveness of flu vaccines in older people may be compromised somewhat if they're on statins compared to those who are not." Now, statins are taken by at least 7 million people in Britain a year, but the NHS last year changed its guidance in an attempt to persuade more doctors to prescribe the drugs. Now, if you've been listening to this show, we're constantly talking about how the standards are changed constantly to move the goalpost and change the standards in order to get more people on drugs, and it smacks of cronyism. All right? NHS rationing watchdog NICE, or NICE, said anyone with a 10% chance of having a heart attack should be eligible to take the drugs, whereas previously they had to have a 20% chance. Now listen to this. Experts said that change meant that 17 million adults, nearly everybody over the age of 40, are now eligible to take the drugs. Now, knocking down the cholesterol in your body at that age, you're almost guaranteeing yourself Alzheimer's. Okay? Now, at the same time, the NHS is campaigning to persuade more people to take the flu vaccine. Who's paying for these campaigns? So you got to ask yourself. The vaccine is available for free to over 65s, anyone with a long-term heart disease, or anyone who's very obese. All of them are also usually advised to take statins. Pregnant women and young children aged 2 to 4 are also vaccinated for free, either via a jab or a nasal spray. Authors of the new research published today in the Journal of Infectious Diseases suggest that as well as reducing cholesterol, statins alter the way the immune system works. Well, that's a great idea, huh? Dr. Stephen Black of University of California, who led the second study, said apparently statins interfere with the response to influenza vaccine and lower the immune response. And this would seem to also result in lower effectiveness of influenza vaccines. Well, you could look at it that way, or you could look at it in as though it's working just fine. They have no incentive to see you get better. They need you coming back. But I digress. His study, which was funded by drug firm Novartis, analyzed reactions to vaccines during the 2009, 2010, and 2010-2011 flu seasons in 4 countries. The data showed that among 7,000 adults over the age 65, statin users had significantly reduced immune response to the vaccines. In the Emory University study, the authors looked at data from 140,000 people collected from 2002 to 2011, and they found that vaccines were not as effective at preventing serious respiratory illness among patients taking statins. You can knock down a respiratory illness with garlic. You can use oil of oregano. You can use colloidal silver. You can, as long as you've got amino and fatty acids in your body, you're going to have a very robust respiratory system. And I'm not just talking about things that I've heard, okay? I'm not just repeating things. I was somebody who was prone to chronic respiratory problems, okay? So I know what I'm talking about. If the results are confirmed, changing the makeup of flu vaccination could stop the problem. That would probably require vaccines to use adjuvants, substances which would boost its effect. Now, one adjuvant you've got to understand is mercury. All right? Wreck your brain. Alternatively, using a high-dose vaccine may work, but that may involve a greater risk of side effects. Professor Sarah Gilbert, a vaccines expert at Oxford University, said older adults are more likely to develop serious disease with life-threatening complications if infected with influenza. And so annual influenza vaccination is recommended for everyone over the age of 65. So everybody over the age of 65 should be on statins, and everybody over the age of 65 should get a flu vaccine. At the same time, They're telling you that the two are butting head to head with each other and it's not working. Or, like I said earlier, maybe it's working just fine. And it kind of reminds me of vampire lore, where they tell you that a vampire can't just walk in your house. They have to be invited. You've got to go down and you've got to let them do this to you. So it would behoove you to take this information and consider it, because your life is in the balance. And not only for yourself, but for your kids, for your parents, your grandparents. She goes on to say, we already know that the influenza vaccine is only moderately effective in older adults. So the new findings that taking statins may reduce vaccine effectiveness requires further investigation. Well, they've had lots of time. And there's now sufficient evidence from these two large studies to promote further investigation and the consideration of routine use of improved influenza vaccines in older adults, especially those taking statins. If I didn't know what I know today, I probably would have ended up on those drugs. And I shudder to think what could have been. Professor Peter Weisberg, medical director at the British Heart Foundation, said that the research was far from conclusive. No one who is planning to have a flu vaccination this winter should stop taking their statins on the basis of these studies. Indeed, patients with heart disease are at greater risk of a heart attack if they catch the flu and therefore need the protection of their statins. So these guys are all arguing with each other. It's important that patients with heart disease should be vaccinated against flu and continue to take all of their medication. England and Wales last year had the highest winter death toll for 15 years after the 2014-15 flu vaccine proved largely ineffective. It didn't work. Mike Phillips, Dr. Peter Glidden, will be back after this.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without a Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
As the cold and flu season approaches, Silver Lungs is ready to help you and your family through the toughest of the year by supporting your immune system and overall health. From our best-selling colloidal silver generating system to our entire line of silver-based skin gels, nasal sprays, soaps, and silver solutions. Silver solutions remain one of nature's most powerful and least expensive antibacterial agents. Now you can produce your own for pennies a day in the comfort of your home using the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. Learn more today at www.silverlungs.com.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Now, if you have been listening to Dr. Glidden either on this radio show or on YouTube, or, there's many places where he just kind of pops up at the right time. He has assembled a group of people that are trained to line you up with the nutritional products that, in his opinion, and based on his experience, and I'm talking 27 years of clinical practice and experience, okay? You can call EiffelHealth.com, 888-618-1796. Once again, 888-618-1796, and you'll find somebody just like you that took his advice and turned things around on their own, and I'm one of those people. Over at PreventDisease.com, found a very interesting article this morning, and listen to this. More doctors are confessing to intentionally diagnosing healthy people with cancer to make money. And it sounds kind of like I'm beating a dead horse here. I know that because last Friday we talked about it. They're giving people chemotherapy drugs for lupus, arthritis, cancer. It's a common practice referred to as off-label use. And listen to how it's put here. Happens more often than you can imagine, but more doctors are finally getting caught in the act of misrepresenting their oath and fraudulently diagnosing healthy patients with cancer to turn a quick buck from kickbacks on chemotherapy poisons. Why shouldn't doctors lie when the entire cancer industry is one giant fabrication from start to finish? Is it any wonder that cancer societies worldwide put a far greater financial incentive on chemotherapy and radiation research than disease prevention techniques? Well, if there was no cancer, there'd be no cancer society. Preventing disease doesn't make money, but treating disease certainly does. Take Dr. Fareed Fatah, a prominent cancer doctor in Michigan who admitted in court 1 year ago to intentionally and wrongfully diagnosing people that were healthy with cancer. Fatah also admitted to giving chemotherapy drugs for the purpose of making a profit. Were his patients shocked? Yes, they were. You better believe it. Who would ever suspect a doctor of faking a diagnosis to collect money? It's unconscionable. Yet it happens with cancer and almost every disease that medical doctors can generate income through kickbacks and commissions based on the volume of patients treated with specific pharmaceuticals. Like anything, people are used as a commodity. Many of these unscrupulous physicians are like businessmen without a conscience. The only difference is they have your health and trust in their hands. Very dangerous combination when money's involved, says Dr. Syed Muhammad, a retired oncologist who admits seeing the trend more than a decade ago. It's my choice, Fatah said on Tuesday of his surprise guilty plea. which included rattling off the names of numerous drugs he prescribed for his patients over the years. In each admission, he uttered these words: "I knew that this was medically unnecessary." Fatah was charged with running a $35 million Medicare fraud scheme that involved billing the government for medically unnecessary oncology and hematology treatments. The government says Fatah ran the scheme from 2009 to the present through his medical businesses, including Michigan Hematology Oncology Centers, with offices in Clarkston, Bloomfield Hills, Lapierre, Sterling Heights, Troy, and Oak Park. According to the government, Fatah had a patient load of 1,200 people and received $62 million from Medicare. He billed for more than $150 million. Are you starting to get the picture here? $62 million. U.S. Attorney Barbara McQuaid said she plans to seek life in prison for Fatah, calling his case the most egregious healthcare fraud case her office has seen. She said Fatah not only built the government, which is typical in such cases, but he also harmed patients. We're going to get back to this right after this hard break. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Back. This is Mike Phillip filling once again. Dr. Glidden was with Dr. Wallach and a bunch of other professionals in Portland, Oregon this weekend, so he couldn't make it home in time to do the show today. So instead of doing a rerun, I opted to take over. But he'll be back tomorrow. Now, if you want to get some amazing information on how all this came about, you can go and see Dr. Joel Wallach tomorrow night in Sedona, Arizona, and December 10th in Phoenix, and December 12th in Mesa. And if you go and you're in Arizona, you're going to meet some really good friends of mine that are carrying the ball for medical nutrition via Youngevity. I'm not just a cheerleader for Youngevity because it's a good company. I'm a cheerleader for Youngevity because it works, okay? I've seen multiple people get over health issues that they had no clue that they could on their own at home without drugs and surgery. Like I said earlier, I was one of them. Now, we were talking about false diagnosis in order to turn a buck, and prostate cancer is another great example which doctors falsely give prognosis about without giving patients the facts. A prostate or PSA blood test looks for prostate-specific antigen, a protein produced by the prostate gland. High levels are supposedly associated with prostate cancer. Now, the problem is that the association isn't always correct. And what it is, the prostate cancer isn't necessarily deadly, and only about 3% of all men die from prostate cancer. Now, the PSA test usually leads to overdiagnosis, biopsies, and treatments in which the side effects are impotence and incontinence. Sound good? Repeated biopsies may spread cancer cells into the tract formed by the needle or by spilling cancerous cells directly into the bloodstream or lymphatic system. More than 90% of doctors who encourage cancer treatment for prostate cancer will generate a commission from each treatment the patient receives. It proves risky and often deadly in the long run for most people who don't understand how to take care of their health and are persuaded by false statistics. And I've talked to people many times who were diagnosed as being precancerous in their prostate or their colon, and they opt to go with surgery or dangerous drugs, and they're scared. They got their wits scared out of them by their doctor over something that probably would not have hurt them in the long run, but there's no money in telling them that. Dozens of excellent large studies have been done on men who have had cancer discovered in their prostate with a biopsy. In over 97% of the cases, this cancer either never spreads outside the gland to cause harm, or the patient dies of something else long before any evidence of cancer spreading outside the prostate occurs. In that 3% where cancer is aggressive and harms the patient, it's already spread beyond the limits of surgical recession long before discovery. Thus, these men are not helped by surgery either. After at least 7 years of post-college graduate medical education on the emotional, mental, and physical condition of the human being, you would expect a physician would be a powerhouse of goodwill for his or her patients. Unfortunately, too many doctors fail to keep the welfare of their customers at the forefront as their main concern. The needs to boost their own ego, self-preservation, and the quest for more money often result in inappropriate care and harm to the patient. This happens all the time. Most women are often told that hysterectomies lead to many different cures for cancers and other ailments. Now, this is misrepresenting the truth. The research done so far has demonstrated no improvement in survival regardless of the aggressiveness of many of these unnecessary treatments. Breast cancer screenings also result in an increase in breast cancer mortality and fail to address prevention, despite no evidence ever having supported any. Recommendations made for regular periodic screening and mammography at any age, malicious recommendations from the Society of Breast Imaging, or the SBI, and the American College of Radiology on breast cancer screenings are now suggesting that breast cancer screening should begin at age 40 and earlier in high-risk patients, published in the Journal of American College of Radiology. The recommendations released by the SBI and ACR state that the average patient should begin annual breast cancer screening at age 40. They also target women in their 30s if they're considered high risk, as they stated. The rate of advanced breast cancer for U.S. women 25 to 39 years old nearly doubled from 1976 to 2009, a difference too great to be a matter of chance, and more about diagnosis. A disturbing study published in the New England Journal of Medicine is bringing mainstream attention to the fact that mammography has caused far more harm than good in the millions of women who have employed it over the last 30 years as their primary strategy in the fight against breast cancer. And we've seen the commercials. We've seen the PSAs. We've seen, it's just constantly flogged to the public. Get checked, get checked, get checked. Well, what if getting checked is causing it? Part of it, anyway. It always has been and always will be about the money. The time we recognize this trend. Now, let's talk a little bit more about chemotherapy. Chemotherapy boosts cancer growth and long-term mortality rates. Most chemo patients either die or are plagued with illness within 10 to 15 years after treatment. It destroys their immune system, increases neurocognitive decline, disrupts endocrine functioning, and causes organ and metabolic toxicities. Patients basically live in a permanent state of disease until their death. The cancer industry marginalizes safe and effective cures while promoting their patented, expensive, and toxic remedies whose risks far exceed any benefit. And this is what they do best, and they do it because it makes money. It's that simple. Don't be a sucker. The reason a 5-year relative survival rate is the standard used to assess mortality rates is due to most cancer patients going downhill after that period. So if you live 5 years, you're considered a success. It's exceptionally bad for business, and the cancer industry knows it. They could never show the public the true 97% statistical failure rate in treating long-term metastatic cancers. Sorry about that. If they did publish the long-term statistics for all cancers administered cytotoxic chemotherapy, and that's just 10 plus years, and reduced the objective data on rigorous evaluations, including the cost effectiveness, impact on the immune system, quality of life, morbidity, and mortality. It'd be very clear to the world that chemotherapy makes little to no contribution to cancer survival at all. No such study has ever been conducted by independent investigators in the history of chemotherapy. The only studies available come from industry-funded institutions and scientists, and none of them have ever inclusively quantified the above variables. Why? You ask yourself. Money, greed, and profits run the cancer industry, nothing else. The cancer establishment must retreat from the truth to treat cancer because there will never be any profit for them in eradicating the disease. There's no governing body in the world that projects consumers from being subjected to these toxic therapies or even known carcinogens in our food and our environment, because that too will prevent the profits from rolling in. And it's a business of mammoth proportions and must be treated as such. The most powerful anti-carcinogenic plants in the world, such as cannabis, must be demonized and made illegal because they're so effective at killing cancer cells without side effects. And I'm not too sure about that. And I'm just going by these guys' research. So, I mean, I'm not promoting cannabis. I'm not saying I'm against it, and I'm not saying I'm for it. So if a magic bullet was first used by the orthodox medicine, meaning the cut, burn, / poison treatments were avoided, a 90% true cure rate would be easy to achieve. But the fact is that the leaders in the medical community have absolutely no interest in finding a magic bullet. A magic bullet would cost the drug companies hundreds of billions of dollars, and patients would have less hospitalization and less doctor visits, etc. And I was talking to a lady in the city of Ottawa, in the province of Ontario, Canada. She went to the largest hospital in Ottawa. She told me it was an absolute nightmare. There was people in the hallways on gurneys because they didn't have any bed space. So it's not working. Now, you might ask your oncologist why your chances of survival are only 3%, ignoring all of their statistical gibberish, such as 5-year survival rates and deceptive terms like remission and response, when your chance of survival would be over 90% if they were using things that worked. Ask yourself that. Now, Dr. Farid Fatah is only a consequence of the system. Like him, there are thousands of legally practicing doctors and oncologists in the United States and abroad. It's happening here in Canada too, who are guilty of the same crimes. But because they fly below the radar, they're never caught. As we continue playing the charade of making the public believe that poisons treat cancer, people will continue to die. And doctors will continue to make money up to the day of their patient's death. Every once in a while, we might catch a few of them, like Dr. Fatah, who self-destruct due to their own greed. We will claim they are outlaws, banish them, and tarnish their reputations based on a perception that a healthy person should never be unnecessarily subjected to chemotherapy for money. So we can harshly judge and legally prosecute the doctor who falsely prescribes poison to a healthy person for money, but we proudly accept the doctor who prescribes poison to an unhealthy person for money, and I find that truly mind-blowing. But it's business as usual. That's how it's been for a long time. It's how it's been for most of my life. And here's the thing. It's getting worse. And I would like to think that people are waking up. I'd like to think that. I'm putting in the effort on my end. It's time for you to do the same. And if we all work together, we can change this. Now, here's an interesting fact, okay? Now, we're talking about these doctors promoting these treatments that are killing people and making them sick. Well, at the same time, they're making all this money, but Reuters Health is reporting that more than half of U.S. doctors are experiencing burnout. It seems that they're victims as well. Burnout among U.S. doctors is becoming more common and now affects more than half of practicing physicians, according to a new study. So you go in because you've got a serious health problem, and the doctor that you're seeing, what if that guy is just tired of it all and the money doesn't even matter to him anymore? He's just kind of on robot mode, and he doesn't even really care. About 54% of U.S. doctors experienced at least one symptom of burnout in 2014, compared to about 46% of doctors in 2011, researchers report in Mayo Clinic proceedings. We're going to get into this more in the last segment of the Dr. Glidden Show. Mike Phillips filling in back after this. Before the break, we were talking about a Reuters study, Reuters report in a study where over 54% of U.S. doctors are experiencing at least one symptom of burnout in 2014. Now, overall, the researchers found that doctors are about twice as likely to experience burnout as the average U.S. worker. Things are unfortunately getting worse for physicians, said lead author Dr. Tate Shanafelt at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. Through a partnership with the American Medical Association, the researchers invited nearly 36,000 U.S. doctors to take a survey in 2014 and compared the responses to a similar survey from 2011. Of the 6,880 doctors who responded to the survey, about 47% reported high emotional exhaustion. About 35% felt depersonalized and saw less value in their work, and about 16% felt a low level of personal accomplishment. I mean, how would you feel if you went to work every day and you had a low percentage of success? Burnout rates varied between specialties, and rates topping 60% among doctors in emergency medicine, family medicine, urology, rehabilitation, and urology. Now, doctors working in urology, rehabilitation, family medicine, radiology, orthopedic surgery, dermatology, internal medicine, general surgery, pathology, psychiatry, and general pediatrics all saw significant increases in burnout rates between 2011 and 2014. How's that if your psychiatrist is emotionally and mentally burned out? What's he going to tell you? I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to go to the DSM, the Bible of mental disease, and they're going to tell you that you got all the problems in the world. Now, despite no increase in the number of hours worked, only 41% of all doctors said they were satisfied with the balance between their work and personal lives, down from about 49% in 2011. In an editorial, Dan Ariely and Dr. William Lanier of Duke University in Durham, North Carolina, pointed to three main psychological issues in the workplace that likely undermine doctors' well-being: loss of autonomy, mental exhaustion, and asymmetrical rewards, meaning that success is barely acknowledged while mistakes come with heavy punishments. That's the other thing, too, you got to understand. They will turn and eat their own. Shanafelt also pointed to doctors' heavier workloads and increased clerical responsibilities as examples of potential frustrations. And that's where bureaucracy comes in. It's not just doctors. You've got politicians, you've got bureaucrats, you've got administration staff. Meanwhile, everybody's getting sicker. Everybody. The study team notes that 75% of doctors now work for large healthcare organizations, and meaningful progress towards turning around burnout rates will require work by doctors and their organizations. Dr. Mark Linzer of Hennepin County Medical Center in Minneapolis, I hope I pronounced that county name right, said his research shows that healthcare systems with higher burnout rates also provide less quality care to their patients. So, everybody's a victim here. He told Reuters Health that patients can help address doctor burnout by encouraging healthcare systems to assess their environment, and this can include measuring time pressures, chaos, lack of control, and alignment of values between doctors and leaders. If providers, patients, and health systems can all come into agreement to address this, acknowledge it, measure it, and care about it, I think we can pretty quickly turn things around, said Linzer, who was not involved with the new research. Now, Shanafelt said some systems have made initial progress by providing doctors with assistance and lightening the load of clerical tasks. I think we have some innovative centers at the vanguard, but I think the saturation of how it's being pursued is limited, he said. So there you have it, folks. You need to take things in your own hands, not only for your own sake, but for your families and your doctor. Mike filling in, Dr. Glidden, back tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Rick Osick with Famous Footwear. Did you know that premature birth is the #1 killer of babies? That's why we support the March of Dimes in the fight against premature birth. Join us in supporting cutting-edge research, treatment programs, and outreach to help moms have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. Learn how you can help save babies' lives at marchofdimes.org.
A lot of people's lives and bodies are out of balance. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops optimize pH level and get rid of harmful waste and acid. Just a few drops in water restores vibrance and energy and gets you back in balance. Now order 2 bottles and get $10 off your order. Sign up for monthly auto shipping and save 25%. Call 800-518-7615 or visit alkavision.com. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.
Thousands of people seeking home security get ripped off every day, and the home security industry wants you to believe that's your only option. They've got hordes of salesmen out there trying to scare you into signing one of their long-term contracts. You get stuck writing huge checks month after month with no way out. It's robbery by contract, and it can cost you thousands. But there's a better way to protect your home. Simply Safe Home Security. Simply Safe has no contracts. None. You'll get award-winning 24/7 protection. Security professionals watching over your home, ready to instantly send police to the rescue for just $14.99 per month. That's less than half what most companies charge. Protect your home the smart way. Visit simplysafedefense.com today for an exclusive 10% offer and get a free keychain remote worth $25. Only when you go to simplysafedefense.com. simplysafedefense.com.
Sciatica, lower back pain, hip pain, poor posture. If you suffer from any of these problems, get ready to relax. Introducing an amazing product that's been in the market for over 25 years, the Sacro Wedgie. It was invented by a football coach using a common-sense osteopath technique. He created this device to help his athletes by isolating and supporting the sacrum, which is the keystone of our anatomy. This wedge-shaped bone is in the center of our hips, where a lot of pain starts. Simply relax 20 minutes daily on the amazingly simple Sacro Wedgie and let gravity do the work, helping muscles rebalance and start releasing nerves. Sit in the Sacro Wedgie at the computer or while traveling to help correct posture to finally help relieve those stubborn aches and pains for only $33.95. It's made in the USA, so click the family-owned website at sacrowedgie.com, spelled SACROWEDGY.com, or call 1-800-737-9295. That's 1-800-737-9295. Relax your back pain away with the Sacro Wedgie.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help, so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MyTV. 1-855-905-MyTV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MyTV. 1-855-905-MyTV.
By now, you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
We've had an amazing year here at Supernatural Silver. We've truly enjoyed the fantastic response from thousands of people as they've tried our extraordinary product, and we're thrilled at the life-changing results people have. Our company email is continually full of happy, satisfied customers who thank us for the help they've received from Supernatural Silver. This holiday season, as you think of gifts to give your loved ones, consider giving Supernatural Silver, a gift that can help provide good health and wellness, a gift that can change lives and make a real difference. In a world where we are constantly exposed to dangerous health threats, give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance. Give Supernatural Silver. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code HOLIDAY2015 for 20% off. And this holiday season, we wish you and yours the blessings of peace and good health from all of us here at supernaturalsilver.com.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Did you know that home break-ins increase more than 100% during the holidays? It takes just 10 seconds for an intruder to kick in your door, but police response to a home alarm system is more than 20 minutes, and intruders are in and out of your home in 5 minutes. Thieves know that you're not home and have presents inside just waiting to be taken. And if you are home, how safe will you feel with an intruder lurking inside with your family? That's why police across the country are recommending you use Door Armor. Proven to withstand the force of a battering ram, Door Armor keeps intruders out. It's easy to install and barely visible, and your Door Armor is guaranteed for life. Go to InvasionStopper.com for a very special buy one, get one at half-off deal. These savings are for a limited time and only available to GCN listeners. Protect your valuables and loved ones this holiday season. Go to InvasionStopper.com now. That's InvasionStopper.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.